Hi, this is Quinn from Q Salon. Today we're doing a two-part video. The first is going to be a men's hair color application. The second is going to be a haircut. Now, I do not typically recommend doing kitchen hair, but under the circumstances, you can probably see why we don't. There's always a lot going on. It's hard to make it a very sanitary environment, so I'm gonna recommend that you choose a place that you can keep as clean as possible, and that, if you do drop a little bit of color, that you can easily find it, wipe it up. So the first thing you want to do is drape yourself or your spouse or whoever you're quarantining with. Definitely want a towel. If you have either a garbage bag or a sheet, something that you wouldn't mind getting a little color on. Our dogs would like to participate, but they cannot. No dogs in the salon. Get out. So one thing that's different about male clients is they tend to want a more natural look. So I would not recommend purchasing any permanent color. At the very most, a demi-color or semi-permanent, something that can wash out. The hair growth happens so quickly that you would have new growth coming in very quickly on a male client. So if you're one of my clients who has an at-home color kit, chances are I gave you a demi-color, which will blend in the color line that I use, Schwarzkopf, 70 to 90% of the gray coverage anyways, give you a very natural look. Because you are at home, I recommend to my clients that they use some moisturizer on their face first to prevent any sort of color staining. And then if you have a base cream, that's great. If you don't, use some conditioner. So I'm gonna take a little amount and go all the way around the hairline. It doesn't matter if you get some on the hair. Color is strong enough to break through conditioner. Go up around the ear, around the neckline, and do it on the other side as well. Now, for any of my clients that I have given at-home color kits to, I've given you recommendations on how to measure out color. The color that I use is a 1-to-1 ratio. So whatever you mix up in color, you're gonna mix up the same amount in your developer. So we are going to mix up this color real quick. I have 2 colors I'm mixing. So you can use a scale, you could use tablespoons. If you're using grams, most men are between 20 to 30 grams of color mixed up. You want to make sure your client's nice and comfortable. And if they're a nervous spouse, make sure that's wine in there. You'll want to put gloves on. At this point, this is the activator has hydrogen peroxide in it, also called your developer, so it can make your fingers tingle and color can stain. So that is why we wear gloves. Also, some people have color allergies they aren't aware of, and that would be unfortunate. So once you have everything together, you're gonna mix it. This may look kind of a funny color to you, and that's okay because all color processes a different color than what it originally mixes to. So if it's orange, blue, purple, chances are it's not gonna look like that on the actual person. So I like to start in the areas of most resistance, so that's typically around the temple or hairline. So with men, you really don't want to saturate too much just because it will increase the color staining. So you want to do more of a sweeping motion around the hairline. There's no smushing involved. If you did purchase a box color, I'm going to try not to judge you, but definitely don't just squeeze it on the head and massage it in. You're not shampooing, you're applying color. And saturating color on the scalp will be pretty uncomfortable, but it's also going to stain the scalp pretty heavily. So if you could not do that, that's the better way to go. So we've applied to the hairline. And I'm just going to use this part of my brush to take about 1/4 to 1/2 inch sections and apply to the new growth. This area is pretty well saturated already. If there is a part where the hair density isn't quite as thick, don't paint it directly on. You could probably even skip it or just lightly flick at it. But don't try to paint it on the scalp. It would give a very unnatural look. So for my male clients, I'm recommending that their hair color sits for anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. You will start your timer after this is applied, not during the application time. So I'm actually going to now apply it through the back of the head, which you can't see, but I'm just kind of going down the middle and applying to the roots in 1/2 inch sections. There's really no wrong way to do this. There's just quicker and slower ways to do this. So whoever is helping you out, whatever makes them feel more comfortable doing this, they're not going to screw it up. So if you'd like, and your formula is somewhat similar to your brow color, this is a little bit more risky, but you can kind of sweep it on either with a mascara wand or very lightly with your brush applicator if you have a few little whites or grays that you want to blend in. I would not recommend this for female clients. Typically their hair is more dimensional. So have a little color there. If you choose to do this, only leave brow color on for about 10 minutes. Don't let it process the full 30. It'll be way too intense. Now another trick with male clients, due to the fact that they want a more natural look and don't like color staining at all, you can take a comb and just kind of comb it away from the hairline. It's gonna help blend things, but it's also gonna let you see if you've gotten any sort of globs on the hairline that maybe need to be cleaned up. All right, and then you want to take your towel and just look around the hairline, see if there's any areas that you maybe got a little bit out of control or you want to clean up a little bit. At this point, you'll already see it starting to process. So you'll see if you accidentally got a spot on their cheek or if the hairline's a little too saturated. So essentially what you're doing here is coloring inside the lines and then cleaning up if you get outside of them before it processes the full amount of time. So we will be back in about 30 minutes for the haircut.